You are live.
Please be live.
What's up, everybody? It's been a minute or hour, days, weeks.
It's been probably almost going on a month now since we did our St. Clair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't really done much in between.
No, we both kind of put the Sixth Sense unboxings to the side for a little bit, and so it's good to be back.
If you're anybody at Sixth Sense, put some damn lures in your box that are new. If you would have sent me a Vega Frog in August, we wouldn't have been having this conversation.
Right. Because basically everything we've been getting, we already have tackle boxes full of that stuff already.
Yeah.
So we don't need any more of that. Get us some new stuff.
I think that's probably my biggest gripe is getting the same stuff over and over again. And You're bringing out all these new products. You have three pages of new products on your website, and you're not putting it in the box.
Right. Well, I think in their defense, I think the one issue they're having is everything's selling out as soon as the new stuff comes out. But I don't know. It'd be a nice gesture, especially for the people that have been receiving subscriptions monthly for 2 years.
I actually looked back or I didn't look back, but I did the math, and we started in November of 2018.
Yeah, so
and
2 years worth.
Yeah, I think we're 21 months, 22 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, past champions provisional for us.
And I did just pause mine, so
yeah, I paused mine as well. Yep.
Because I think if you didn't pause it and you just canceled it, then if you went back,
you're gonna get the higher rate.
Higher rate. Yep.
Right. Yep.
All right, but we're here for fantasy fishing.
Yes, Lake Guntersville. This is going to be. It's going to start next Wednesday, September 30th. So it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, October 3rd is going to be what the final 10 guys should be.
Yep, top 10. Saturday. 10. It's championship Saturday, huh?
Yeah. Sounds a little different, but whatever.
It's cool with me. I mean, I guess I work from home a lot, so I get to watch fishing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But yeah, this is round 2 of Guntersville.
Yes.
The makeup event.
So I have written down the times for takeoff and weigh-ins, but I'm not sure I'm assuming that's local time, right? I would think.
Well, rosters lock at 6 a.m. Eastern time, but then the tournament is actually, I think, local time.
Well, I have takeoffs at 6:30 a.m. daily and weigh-ins at 2:30.
So that's probably local time.
It's got to be local time, I'm thinking. So that's going to be central. Should be central time, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yep. And takeoffs and weigh-ins, I guess, are at Goose Pond.
Goose Pond.
That's what it said on the entry thingy.
So they're fishing Lake Guntersville, but then they go to the pond to weigh in.
Pond, so must be just a little inlet or whatever. Yep.
I guess we could just say it right now. I don't know what to go off of. We're into uncharted territory as far as tournament fishing.
I mean, we discussed briefly before we went live. I was doing some research at work last night, and I the first thing I usually do is just go back from 2019 and then work my way back year by year and try and find tournaments that were on Guntersville, first of all, and then around the same time frame. And I got nothing for you, really. At that point, I was like, you know what? I'm like, it's going to make more sense to pick the local guys because they're going to be more accustomed to fishing that body of water, being so close to them, and fishing at this time of year when it may be off season in between other events or venues. So that's where I was going with it.
With the rest of the year coming up, I would say see what happens this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
See how the locals do,
right.
and I think a lot of the guys that figure out how to fish this time of year, the first tournament, will have a better outlook as far as the rest of the year goes. Because there's a lot of guys that right now they've sold their boat, they're getting ready, they're going hunting, they're doing all this other stuff. This is off season time, basically now. Yep. So I would say let's take your picks. We're going to go through ours here shortly, but take your picks now and then go off of this tournament for next tournament. Yeah. Look at how the locals do, and then look how certain guys do. I would pay attention to how the northern guys do, because if you find a northern guy that has done well on Lake Guntersville this time of year, he may have a horseshoe or something, and he might ride that for a few tournaments. So it'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, it's almost October right now, and there's still four events to go. And I mean, back down south from the northern swing, I mean, it's almost like a fresh season. The next 4 events are going to be all down south, obviously. So it's kind of weird. It's almost like this year in elites is just broken up into like 3 segments. It's like south, north, and then south again. So,
hey JP, happy Saturday.
Yeah, happy Saturday.
Yep. And I mean, the weird thing is I think it was it was 75, 78 today, and up here in New York. We could have fishing up here. Well,
right. Yeah.
I went fishing, you went fishing, so
yeah, we both fished this morning. So yeah, I wouldn't have won any tournaments today, but I caught some fish.
Our boat would have won for most frogs. Missing. I think we lost 3 or 4. So
did that pike bite that frog off?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's
I think Jason lost 2 frogs. I lost 1, 2. I think Kim might have lost 1 too. I don't remember.
Are you trying to use this frog conversation to segue into maybe some fishing styles?
Well, I'm not even trying, but it just works because so we're going to Guntersville, and I think even one of the pundits is what they call themselves or whatever. They talked about frog fishing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Quite. Yeah, they talked quite a bit about fishing frogs. So. Yep.
You ready? Group A.
Group A. Have at it.
I mean, we haven't really even talked about who we picked, other than maybe one guy, right?
Yeah, we talked about there's a particular guy in bucket D. That's you could call him a local, I guess.
The big G on Lake G. Right. All right, so bucket A, I am going with, and remember, let's just put it out there, subject to change. Yes. These aren't our final picks by any means. If I see that one of these guys, is crapping it in practice, I may not pick him. But anyway, that's just our little thing. So if you pick these guys, it's on you.
Right.
Bucket A, I have from Chickamauga, Georgia, Buddy Gross.
Buddy Gross.
He is 13.6% owned at this moment that we're doing this Saturday. I picked him because he's just north. He fishes Lake Chickamauga a lot, so he understands the river system. Yep. I don't know what Buddy Gross does in his off season, if he's a hunter or if he just loves to fish that much. But river system guy, I'll take him.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. It's a solid pick. I know a couple of the, I think 2 of the 3 pundits had him picked either for their main or their dark horse. But yeah, not a bad pick. I like it. My A bucket pick is going to be Scott Canterbury. So yeah, Alabama guy. So, and I'm going to tell you guys right up front, 4 out of my 5 guys I picked are from Alabama. I'm totally going with home field advantage because those are the guys that have fished Guntersville this time of year. You know, normally it's springtime, but I want somebody that's got some experience there, you know, during the late summer, early fall. So Scott Canterbury, he's my guy as of today. And all 5 of my guys that I'm listing to you today are the same guys that I picked 3 weeks ago when I went on after St. Clair and made my picks. Last night I went on, I'm like, oh, I'm going to change a couple of these. And I looked and I'm like, nope, I'm just leaving them how they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think other than Buddy Gross, I mean, I had Scott Canterbury and the rest of my lineup in, you know, back when right after St. Clair, when they first opened up for this event. And Buddy Gross is the only one I changed, and I had Scott Canterbury.
Yep.
So the funny thing is right now I'm in the 94.4%. I don't know where you were at.
85, I think.
So instead of playing it safe,
right,
I'm going for it with Buddy Gross, going with a little, you know, a few spots less.
Yeah.
And you over there are, you know, you're playing it safe, but you're not there yet.
24. Come on now. I mean, he is the highest percentage picked angler in the 8 bucket.
Yeah.
And my secondary is Seth Fighter, just because he's got some momentum going. You know, he had a good couple of tournaments up north, so I think he may have some momentum going. But as I stated earlier, I'm going with those Alabama local.
Yeah.
Period. So I don't want to deviate from that. So.
The other thing with Scott Canterbury is I believe I picked him for the Classic, if I'm not mistaken, and he let me down.
You know, I didn't even.
Nope, no, I didn't. I didn't pick him for the Classic.
Let me pull that up. I didn't even look at the Classic results. Bother look. I'm just like, whatever. Results. I'm like computer illiterate today. Where are we? Guntersville results. All right. Where did he finish?
I want to say in the 30s.
I don't see him. Now fish this.
He's the angle of the year.
He finished 46. He had 14 pounds too.
Wow.
So he fished what, 2 days?
Yeah, I mean it's a 3-day event.
Oh,
I mean, everybody gets 2 days.
Probably fish 1 day then.
No, that everybody gets 2 days.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right.
So.
That's horrible. I might have been able to do better than that.
We're live, Matt. So, you know, so we can't edit and put your new pick in yet. So you're
Scott Canterbury, going with him.
All right, let's shoot over to Bucket B.
Bucket B. I think we might have the same pick here. We'll see in a second.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it.
Nope.
So let's just say all right. So I went Brandon Lester. Who'd you go with?
He was my second pick. I went with Matt Herron.
Matt Herron. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And John, surprisingly, well, I guess I shouldn't say surprisingly, because after St. Clair, this guy John Cox can catch fish anywhere. So
yeah, and he was catching. What was he? I don't know. Well, he was catching. Oh, it was Champlain that he was catching largemouth, wasn't it?
John Cox. Yeah.
Okay. Now, all right.
I caught Champlain at largemouth. I didn't win anything.
Yeah, I went with Heron. Obviously, another Alabama guy who's got extensive experience down there. And I like Matt Heron anyway, so.
Yeah. He's a grizzled veteran, I'd say.
Right.
I went with Brandon Lester for he's another TVA guy, Tennessee, the river. So he lives in Tennessee, like more towards Chickamauga. I don't know where Fayetteville is exactly, but I know he's more up that way.
Yeah.
But I know he has some experience, and I think he did pretty well at the Classic. He obviously didn't win, but
Brandon Lester, 7th place, 53.9.
Yeah, so I mean, he knows his way around, and it's. I don't think he's big into hunting, so maybe he fishes a lot.
I think so.
Let me see if I can find his number. We'll call him up and see what he does.
Yeah, he's got Rolodex somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it's a very, I don't know.
I'm surprised with John Cox, like 22.7. That's weird, because usually a lot of the time, like the highest pick guy for that bucket will be like one of the main punnet picks, and out of the 3 punnet picks, one person had him as their second pick or the dark horse.
Wow.
So it's kind of strange. Usually, if all 3 punnets pick the same guy, obviously their percentages are going to be high, but I don't know. But, John Cox isn't a bad pick though. I agree with that. But
yeah, I mean he did not do very well in New York.
No.
But he moved over, did well at St. Clair.
Yep.
But I don't think he didn't really start the year off too hot either. So maybe he'll finish off the year well.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that aluminum boat.
So yeah, Lester and Heron are our 2 picks for bucket B.
Yes.
All right, bucket C.
Bucket C. I'll go first. Now, if I change one of my picks, it's most likely going to be either C or D. Right now, I'm going with Brandon Cobb, Tennessee guy. Tennessee's close enough, and
just mark me for Brandon Cobb also.
Oh, you're going with Cobb too? Okay.
Yeah. You know my love-hate relationship with Mr. Zeldane.
Yeah.
I did pick him for the Classic. He let me down.
Where did he finish in the Classic? Scrolling. Where is he?
Probably next to Mr. Canterbury.
Did he even fish the Classic?
Yes, he did. I can just go back and tell you. He did finish 16th place.
44-11.
Yeah,
that's not too bad. It's not terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, you got it.
But anyway, he's
he's not one of our picks.
Yeah, and he didn't do very well in the northern swing, and he is from California, but he normally does pretty well in New York.
Last year in 2018, I mean, he had pretty solid years, and like you said, I don't know what's going on with him this year. But 35.8%, I kind of got to scratch my head a little bit at that one. Whatever. My secondary pick for C group is Bill Lowen, which doesn't go along with my guy. Like we said earlier, grizzled veteran. So But I'm pretty confident I'm going to stay with Brandon Card.
Yeah, I'm pretty locked in with Card too.
Another person that piqued my interest briefly was Steve Kennedy, but I think he's burned us both.
Yes.
This year, last year.
He's burned me in the E group. I think last year he was in D and E a lot, and yeah, that didn't work out very well.
Yeah. Until he can, put a good string of a couple events behind him, I'm gonna stay away from Mr. Kennedy for now.
Yeah, and the 18.7% Brandon Cobb. He's a good fisherman, but he hasn't really done much of anything this year.
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet. Was it last year? Was it Lake Fork last year? He crushed him.
He won 2 tournaments last year, right? And so he went over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. So this year he's going the other way.
Yeah. Can't win them all. All right, D group.
All right.
I'm going to tell you who we didn't pick.
Hank Cherry.
Hank Cherry. But I know he's not your favorite guy. He's not my favorite guy. He's just, to me, he's different. I don't know. He's his own animal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is about him. And if you're watching Hank, no disrespect. Right. You're fishing professionally, and I work in IT. So and you won the classic.
Right.
But it's Guntersville, and I don't know. It's he got his fish on one spot basically. Yeah. And I don't think that spot's going to play this tournament. And
probably not. I'm sure he'll try and practice it, but I don't see that spot working out too well. All right, so now we're going to go to who we picked. I got 2 guys in mind. They're both local, and I'm going to go with Wes Logan, who's from Alabama. It was either between him or Swindle.
You just changed your pick?
No, I said Wes Logan.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I thought you said Gerald Swindle.
No, I said my 2 guys. I said Logan, but Swindle is my other guy. The reason I'm going with Logan is for that 4.2. I'm trying to make up some ground there. That's kind of like my
let it ride.
That's my swing for the fence.
So 42.4% for Gerald Swindle.
Right.
And 4.2 for Wes Logan. Right. So that's a good amount of that's a good try. It's a good it's a good bet. I'd say.
Good.
Yeah.
And Logan doesn't, then I'm screwed. I'd lost out of easy points if I would have went with the status quo.
So through my pick of Gerald Swindle is basically the point of the classic was on Lake Guntersville. He didn't get to fish the classic, so he's pissed off.
Right.
And he's been herding the fish into a secret spot of Lake Guntersville. Oh. And he is going to go out there and catch all of his herd and win the tournament.
He's got like an underwater net, so they can't get out.
I'm not. I don't know how he's doing it, but
it's like
I'm just going with the pissed off.
It's a big bass cage, and they're all inside the cage, and he can up into the cage. Right.
Anyway. All right. So we're not telling you that he's cheating, but just that he's
the guys that live within an hour or so of Guntersville, they got some top secret holes.
Yeah.
They won't even practice them. People following them. They're just gonna Wednesday morning they're just gonna go right to their hole and boom. Or not, but
so I guess you just say that Gerald has something to prove. He hasn't had the greatest of year. I mean, he's in bucket D right now. But yeah, I suspect that he's gonna turn it around here.
I hope he does. I mean, he deserves it. So, yeah. All right. Who else do you like out of D group?
Not Lee Livesey.
No.
you know my relationship with Lee Livesey. He's burned me too.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. Mostly hate. That's a strong word. I don't want to say hate.
We're gonna have to start a Stout Sportsmen website, and we're gonna have our love hate. It's gonna be like fantasy, fantasy football. The love hate.
Actually, it could be kind of like a meter. As they do better on your fantasy team, the meter will go to like or sway back to hate.
In that group, I think I did pick him for the classic, and I forget how he finished. Skylar Hamilton,
okay.
And he's from the Tennessee area.
Right.
I picked him. He finished 12th at the classic, so he didn't do too bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, $15,000. Sure.
But then again, as I'm looking at my team, I picked Lee Livesey, and he finished 8th. So
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Place, that ain't a bad finish. I don't care what bucket you're in,
Yeah.
I'll take an 8th all day. I mean, if you can fish on the final day, or any of the guys that I pick for my team fish on the final day, fantastic. So, all right, now E group.
I think we had the same pick, possibly, because you said you picked a lot of Alabama guys.
There's how many Alabama guys? One.
There's one in the E group.
I guess, yeah, we probably did both pick Bill Weidler.
Yep, Bill Weidler. He's 24.4% in the E group,
and he's got some momentum behind him.
Yep, he won St. Clair.
Got that win under him from St. Clair. Yep.
And I think he's going to fish a little bit more free. When you cash $100,000 check.
Yeah, a lot of the worries or things that are in the back of your mind kind of go away for a little bit. So,
and I'll also say, like, Bill's. I mean, obviously, if I'm naming off guys in the Elite Series, he's not in my top half of the group that I'm going to name. So he's one of those guys that I think I wouldn't call it, say, bottom feeder, but he's definitely not one of the guys that come to mind for the Elite Series. So a guy like that winning, I think he's going to be more relaxed and looking to fish.
Yeah.
Also at this time, I forget when they said it, but everybody on the Elite Series is good for next year. They were bringing everybody back. Yeah, I think they announced it during the New York swing, that because of all the COVID stuff and the way the season worked out, they didn't want to penalize anybody for the season. So they're going to bring back the entire field.
I'm sure we're probably going to get some crossovers as well from Major League.
Or
are they in year 2 now?
Yes.
Second year, right?
This is the second year.
What was their contract for? 3?
3.
So you might get 1 or 2 guys that'll jump the fence, but most of them will probably wait until after 3 if they come back.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that we probably won't get maybe 1 coming back, and that's just if they have their if they were one of the anglers of the year or whatever that rule is. They got Polnick and Swindle back.
Okay.
They're past champions provisional or whatever you want to call it. But we won't see. I don't think we're going to see them this year unless they have done well in the opens and qualify for the elites. That's the only way they're getting back in.
Yeah.
And so I do see that they'll probably end up with, I mean, there's 84 or 85 guys right now.
Yeah, something like that.
So they'll probably have a field of like 90.
Yeah, there's some long weigh-ins.
But hey, who knows? Maybe they're gonna keep the way they've done it with the COVID and move things along.
Yeah.
Those first couple days being quicker definitely helped. Kept me watching a little longer than I normally do.
I mean, like day 1 and 2. Well, day 1 especially. If you're watching, the weigh-ins live. I mean, you don't want to see 60 of the 80 something guys going through, rattling off, 6 different sponsors each. I don't want to see that. I just want to know how they did.
Yeah.
Brief in and out next. That's what I wait till the last day.
And I think a big thing with that is I don't think the guys want to be up there talking that much either.
Right.
Like day 1, if I smashed them on day 1, the first thing I don't want to do is talk about how I smashed them on day 1.
Exactly. Right. Yep. Yep.
All right. So E group, we both picked Bill Weidler.
And who did I even have for a secondary? I took Randy Sullivan. I have as a backup at 1.9%. But I mean, John Cruz was, heavily picked pundit wise. I think all 3 of them had him as one of their picks. But kind of going back to the Lee Lipsy and a couple other guys, John Cruz is one of those guys who's kind of burnt me a little bit.
Yeah, he's had a rough time with fishing lately.
Yeah,
I mean, he is Virginia. He does pretty well up north normally, and this year he just decided to take the year off, I guess. He fished the events. He didn't do very well.
All right. I'll go over my weights first. Like I said earlier, I didn't change any of my picks from when I did them right after St. Clair. I did change my weights. The weights that I originally put 101 pounds, 11 ounces. And that's just not going to happen. And so I reduced it to 91 pounds, 9 ounces. And I don't think that's going to happen. So between now and Wednesday morning, that's probably going to get changed again. So I'm thinking lower 80s, 82-ish, somewhere in there. I'm probably going to go with, I think.
So when you picked that 101 11 ounces, was your finger like kind of just stuck on the one key, just like
Yeah, I would think I was thinking more of a Guntersville spawn time of the year.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh crap, it's October, maybe not.
And you know what? It's tough to tell. I went with 75 pounds 7 ounces, so like 18 to 19 a day. But then again, if you go off of what the guys tell you during their practices, they're going to be like, oh, it's a tough one, mm-hmm. And then the first day somebody's going to drop 25, and then it's not going to be a tough one anymore.
Right.
So,
I mean, same thing with like Chickamauga. I mean, Guntersville, at any given moment, you can have a guy pulling in a 8 to 10, 12 pounder. Yeah. I mean, it can happen at any time. So, I mean, if a guy's got a 12, 4 fish for 12 pounds, and then he pulls in a 10 pounder, you got 22 pounds all of a sudden.
Yeah.
One fish can be a huge game changer. So, and I think we're going to see that quite a bit. And I think, like we discussed a little bit earlier, it's not going to be like up north fishing for smallies where you're going to get, all 4 pounders all day long. No, you're going to get guys that are going to catch 20 pounds the first day and then 11 or 12 pounds the next day. And I don't think it's going to be as tight as the northern swing was.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely going to be interesting to see, and we haven't seen what the 2021 schedule is going to look like,
right?
But I'm kind of hoping that after they see what they do during these fall months, if maybe we'll get a little bit more spread out schedule.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So
I'd actually like to see I'd like to see them guys or set the schedule up so one of the northern events next year is earlier, where they can actually hit like a spawning time up here. Say if it's St. Lawrence or even Cayuga or Champlain, like try and hit that, like I don't know, probably early June. It's still going to be in the spawn for sure, I think.
So I think they have to abide by the fishing season.
Okay.
So if you're coming to New York, you can't have a tournament until was it June 16th or whatever it is that the season normally opens up.
Roughly what ours is down here in PA. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this year was like the 13th or the 20th. I mean, we fish catch and release for bass. So we fish bass, whenever we get out there till whenever we have to put the boat away. But we don't keep them. So, you can target them as long as you're not keeping them, right. I guess is the way to say it. Right. So I believe like a lot of those southern states, they don't have like a closing for bass. It's like year round. So they can do tournaments. So up here, I guess you're kind of stuck to June, the middle of June till, I don't think that you're ever going to see a northern tournament past September, just because of the way the weather changes up here.
Yeah, the wind can get pretty nasty.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
those couple of guys that were fishing into Ontario at the St. Lawrence, they found out.
Yeah. I mean, Kim and I went up for our first anniversary up to Champlain. We were up there. What was the days? We were up there we fished the 14th and 15th of September. Mm-hmm. The 13th, they would have canceled the tournament for wind.
Yep.
The 14th would have been an iffy one. They would have fished the 15th. And probably they fished the 12th. So, but the way that water is up there, I mean, you could call it the sixth Great Lake of Lake Champlain.
Yeah.
That's some rough water. So I don't think you're going to see too many later tournaments for up north. Hopefully they could show us some earlier tournaments. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even for a northern tournament at mid or end of June, at the beginning of the season up here would be nice, just to, rather than, late July, August, all that. I don't know, just to change things up just a little bit.
I mean, we do know that their classic is going to be in Texas next year, March 19th through the 21st in Texas at Lake Ray Roberts. It'd be cool to start seeing some, northern classics and maybe moving the classic around during the season instead of just being in March.
Right. Yep.
But hey, we don't make those decisions.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something keeping it down south all the time. There's got to be. But if they did move it up north, I could see them doing it at like St. Lawrence, because they've fished the St. Lawrence for years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a mainstay on the schedule nowadays.
I know their big thing is they have the arena style weigh-ins and everything. So I mean that would be a tough one to do up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's not, a real big city with an arena, even remotely close to the St. Lawrence.
The St. Lawrence, and they're hosting it in Syracuse. We know how long of a ride that is.
I don't even think there's one in like Watertown.
No, I don't think so either. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah. So what'd you go with for a weight? 75.7. 75.7. Wow.
Which is just under 19 a day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and like dig into some, not like Bassmaster, but just some other just random smaller local tournaments or something this time of year down there, just to see what kind of weights they're pulling. So
you start looking up like Alabama Bass Trail.
exactly. Yep. All right. When are you thinking about putting the boat away?
Well, it's going to be put away in my driveway with a tarp over it, so it gives me a few extra weeks here. I think last year I covered it in November.
Yep.
End of October, November. So still got a few, I guess probably another month at least with it being uncovered.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I can get 1 or 2 snows before I put the boat away. I mean, as long as the bay where I'm fishing isn't too rough. I don't care if that water's 50 degrees. I'll go out and still fish for some bass, or even some steelhead, whatever happens to be coming in. But yeah, I'll probably put the boat away sometime November, probably mid-November, I would think.
I'm keeping mine open. We'll see. Next Thursday starts hunting season for me. So the 1 year I actually did get a deer. We were back out on the boat the next couple weeks.
All right.
The latest I've fished is still the end of October. You and I fished a few years ago. I think it was like 2017. You and I 16 or 17. We had the boat out like it was basically like Halloween.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So, yeah, I think we were fishing Lake Alice or something like that, and
that's probably Lake Alice. Yep.
We were the only boat on the lake.
Yeah. I haven't fished there in probably almost 2 years now, maybe.
And Alice, I think we went out twice this year. The first was our first trip out this year, where my trolling motor didn't work, and then on the way in we busted the steering arm for the motor.
Oh, right.
So we steered back to the launch. I was basically hugging the 90 horse, turning it, going down the lake.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'll tell you what's not having the steering arm was pretty rough because they didn't even have the dock in yet.
You just got that concrete pad to pull up to. Yeah.
So that was an interesting moment.
All right. Weather-wise for the event next week, looks sunny right now for all 4 days. Wednesday, high of 70, 71 Thursday, 65 Friday and Saturday. Winds look to be moderate, anywhere from 6 to 8 miles per hour. So it should be decent for them.
Cool.
Yep. So everybody go pick Lee Livesey, Hank Cherry. Who else?
You know what? We still have to set our Stout Sportsman team lineup.
Yeah.
Let's just pick all of our love-hate guys.
All right. Yeah, let's do that.
Because now that our Stout Sportsman team sucks right now with our picks. So let's just pick all of the guys that we don't want to pick.
Because we forgot to send for the one event.
Yeah. So we're gonna set our lineup for that.
Yeah. Steve Kennedy's going in bucket C for sure.
Let's see, John Cruz.
Hank
Cherry, and Lee Livesey are the same. So, do you want to go Lee Livesey just because he's lower picked?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Steve Kennedy.
Yeah. Watch this lineup crush it.
We'll have to figure out bucket B. Maybe Keith Combs.
Yeah, because I'm love-hate with him.
Yeah,
he's screwed me over a couple times.
And then bucket A, are we gonna go Canterbury? I don't know. He's done well for me.
I picked Canterbury.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry. Let's look through here. Bucket A is like the only one that.
Yeah, I mean, Taco Itu has been awesome. Maybe we should just pick him.
Let's go with him. I would have actually picked him for some of the northern events if he wasn't like doing really well in groups with studs.
Right.
I would have picked him.
Yeah. The 3 events in a row, he was pretty solid.
He made 3 top 10s, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Up north. So part of me didn't want to pick him for my normal team because they're going back down south, and I don't know how he fishes down there. So
yeah.
But I know Kim was in the same boat that I was in, where she was like, I want to pick him because he's been doing so awesome. We actually, her and I actually fished a spot up at Champlain where he was fishing, just to try, and it was definitely a cool spot. It was a shoal kind of on a point. We didn't catch anything there, but actually I missed one. I had one on and I didn't have him fully hooked on a drop shot.
Okay.
And he got off, but we like the Taku Ito. He does well we like to watch him. So
yeah, I mean, he's for not speaking the best English, I mean, he's at least exciting to watch. He's an exciting person. So really fun, and I'm glad that they gave him as much airtime as they did.
Yeah,
that was nice to see.
So we'll take him in Bucket A.
All right.
The other guy in Bucket A that I just noticed is Jamie Hartman, and he's from Utica, New York, so
But he did well last year down south.
Yeah, he did. He won Guntersville.
Yeah.
So I think he makes his way around. I think he understands all the seasons of fishing.
Yeah, he does.
So I mean, he's another decent pick at 6.6%.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah. Is there anything else? I know 47 minutes we're going on right now. So.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Yep. Yeah, I know. I'm most likely going to be changing my weights a little bit more to the downside, but not too much.
I don't remember the schedule. I think are they back to back? Are we going to get like a couple quick tournaments here?
Schedule.
So I was going to say we could actually have a.
Next one is October 8th through the 11th. So that would be the following weekend. Yep. And then October 16th through the 19th. That's the following week after that. Then,
so they're starting there's a Wednesday start.
Yep.
Then the next tournament's a Thursday start. Then the next tournament is a Friday start.
16th through the 19th.
It's Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep. And then after that, we have Lake Fork, November 5th through the 8th, which is a traditional Thursday through Sunday. Yep. Lake Fork is the last one, correct? Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Last elite, anyways.
So we're gonna have back to back to back.
We're gonna be busy.
Yeah. Probably do some Sunday evening, Monday shows, just to get them in time.
It all depends. I'm working Sundays.
Oh yeah.
So
we'll see. Maybe we'll do some quick ones. Just some single shows.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. If you stuck with us this long, you get an award for hanging in there.
Right. Sorry.
All right. So we're Stout Sportsmen still.
Yeah, we're. I got to get going here. I got to.
Yep.
I got dinner to go to here shortly. Yeah. Thanks for thanks for stopping in and listening to us ramble on about our picks and our love-hate relationships with certain people. All right. He is Scott. We are Stout Sportsmen.
We're out. Stay stout. We're out.